right? You got to be asking yourself a question. In 5 years' time, would the unemployment rate have dropped, right? Poverty levels, more than half of the country living under the breadline. Now, all of that stuff cannot be changed by, a sort of what you call a two-nethering, of political interests to keep each other happy. I'm one of the few people who called for the government of national unity. So the government of national unity, as it stands now, was a cop-out from the ANC making a clear decision about who they want to coalesce with. It's not a genuine government of national unity. Zille told us it's not a government of national unity, really. It's a grand coalition. In fact, once they signed with the ANC, she berated the ANC for bringing the other parties. This is a pure political survival tactic, a sign of cowardice for them not to decide who they want to work with. And so, what kind of government really are we going to end up with, with all these people having all their own little agendas? And it shows now, right? These guys have lost more than you can, their weight itself. Foundation of the whole thing was wrong, right? And I'm not wishing it to fail. That's the last thing on my mind. The ANC lost elections, but won the negotiations. Very interesting. So they win, they get 40% of the vote, and then they go and get 75% of the cabinet. It's ridiculous. This is a bloody insult to the voter. They gave away some crumbs to the DA and others to remain in power when in fact they should be out. Somebody who's been in power for 30 years, if you include them, you expect them to throw away their habits. You listen to Balula. You think these people won elections. You think they got 70%. The policies remain that of the ANC. You are there to implement them. And it shows now, look at what happened with the Bella Bill. Not that I have a problem with the Bella Bill, but it's just a case study that shows you, right, that this is a fractured relationship. It's a marriage of convenience, and only God knows how long it's going to last, because they won at the end of the day. We went to the polls, but they then switched it around and maneuvered to be the majority in cabinet. So there are expectations of ordinary, poor South Africans who expect the government to now look at the economic policy and say, has this delivered the goods? Right? And we can't argue about the fact that it didn't deliver the goods, the fact that we are the most unequal society in the world. That alone tells you that the poor have become poorer, the rich richer. Unemployment rate, horrific. Some of the worst in the world, right? Poverty levels, more than half of the country living under the breadline. I believe in a genuine GNU. And I believe that in all these parties, including the ones you hate, like EFF and MK Party, there are good South Africans there who, if they got together, right, even outside the ANC, we could still have a government that runs. And I was saying that you cannot resign your entire future to an 11% party, but you can acknowledge that out of their policies, something makes sense there.
That's
MK, it's a lot of
voters,
votes. You may not like them. They may be crazy to vote when there was not even a manifesto on the table, right? But a government of national unity is exactly meant to pull all parts of society together. And now you're saying, okay, so that we are not seen to be working with the DA, let's just sprinkle PAC. I don't know who else are the minions in the GNU who are just sprinklings, right? So essentially just insulting the voter, right? Which is nonsense. Because this country doesn't require a fake unity between communities. It requires fundamental change, right, in the lives of the people who have been marginalized and who were fooled into believing in 1994 was their liberation.